Have you ever had an idea for an app or a website and thought, man, I wish I could just build that myself? Well, that's exactly what being a full stack developer is all about. And in this explainer, we're going to lay out the exact roadmap for how you can get there in 2025.
Seriously, just think about that for a second. It's not just about learning to code. It's about unlocking this incredible power of creation. It's the ability to take an idea that's just a thought in your head and turn it into a real working application that people all over the world can use. That's our destination. And this is the map. So what does it actually mean to be a full stack developer? It's so much more than just typing code into a computer. You're part architect, part problem solver, and part creator. Every app you use, from ordering food to checking your bank account, a full stack developer was the architect behind that entire experience.
Okay, so let's get the official definition on the table. A full stack developer is basically an engineer who's comfortable working across all three of these critical layers of an application. Think of yourself as a generalist with a very special set of skills, someone who can speak the language of the user-facing design and the deep server-side logic that makes it all tick. And you can really break down the entire landscape into these three layers. First, you've got the front end. That's everything you can see and touch and interact with. Then, behind the scenes, you have the back end. That's the hidden brain doing all the hard work. And finally, you have DevOps. This is the crucial bridge that actually connects your creation to the rest of the world.
So let's start with layer one, the front end. This is where the magic happens for the user. It's where you craft the experience. And it's not just about making buttons look pretty. It's about building an interface that's so intuitive it just feels natural, telling a story that guides the user exactly where they need to go.
Ready to start building? Here's your essential toolkit. HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, these are the absolute non-negotiable foundation. Then, on top of that, you're going to want to learn a modern framework. Right now, for 2025, the standard is definitely React or its bigger brother, Next.js. And please, don't forget responsive design, so it looks great on any screen and accessibility, because we need to build for everyone.
All right, once you've built a beautiful front end, you need to actually make it do something. You need to give it a heartbeat, a brain. That's where the back end comes in. This is the engine room, where all the heavy lifting, the data processing, and the core logic lives.
And here's the cool part. You get to a fork in the road, you have a choice. You can stick with the JavaScript you already know from the front end and use Node.js. It's incredibly fast, super efficient, and perfect for real-time apps. Or you could go a different route and learn Python with a framework like Django or FastAPI. It's famous for its clean, readable code, and it's an absolute beast for data-heavy projects. There's no wrong answer here, just different tools for different jobs. But no matter which path you take, these concepts are essential. You absolutely have to understand databases, like MongoDB or PostgreSQL, to store all your information. You need to know how to build APIs, which is just how different software components talk to each other. Authentication, that's your digital gatekeeper, keeping things secure. And of course, server logic. That's the brain making all the decisions. Look, having a project that runs perfectly on your laptop is a great feeling, but that's not the end of the story. The real goal is to get it out there, into the world, so people can actually use it. A developer doesn't just code, a developer ships. And this is what the modern workflow for shipping code looks like. You'll use Git and GitHub to manage and track your code changes. Then you'll deploy it to a cloud platform. Think AWS, Vercel, or Render. You'll probably use Docker to package your app up so it runs the same way everywhere. And finally, you automate that whole process with something called CI/CD. Just think of it like a fully automated assembly line for your code, making releases smooth and painless.
Okay. At this point, you've got this solid foundation. You can build things, you can ship things. Now, let's talk about how you level up. How do you go from being just another developer to being a great one? It's time to acquire some superpowers. So, what's the secret sauce? In a world with AI and constantly changing tech, what's the one thing that will give you that professional edge and make you truly indispensable? Here they are. These are the skills. TypeScript is like a suit of armor for your code, preventing common bugs. Understanding the basics of system design, security, and performance shows you're a pro. But the real game changer for 2025? AI integration. Learning how to tap into APIs from models like ChatGPT and Gemini unlocks a whole new world of possibilities for what you can build. And this is the new equation you need to remember. AI is not coming for your job. It's a tool, a force multiplier. It's here to give you superpowers, making you faster, smarter, and capable of building things that were science fiction just a few years ago. You're not just a full-stack developer anymore. You're full-stack 2.0. Now, we've talked a lot about technologies and tools, but I'm going to be honest, none of that stuff matters if you don't have the right mindset. This is the real engine that's going to power you through this whole journey.
This right here is the absolute truth. The specific frameworks and tools we talked about today, they're going to change. New ones will come along. But the process, the ability to learn, to adapt, to solve problems, and to grow, that skill is timeless. The secret isn't the list of things to learn, it's how you approach learning itself.
So, what's the magic formula? It's actually incredibly simple, and it's not always glamorous. It's this: you build stuff, you try to build projects, and you know what? You're gonna fail. Things are gonna break. That's okay. Then you fix it, you figure it out, and then you do it all over again. That cycle, that's where the real learning happens.
So, there you have it. The blueprint is laid out. The map is in your hands. You know the layers, you know the skills, and most importantly, you know the mindset you need. The only thing left is to start. So the real question isn't if you can do this. The real question is, what incredible thing are you going to build first?